Credit unions, listen up, because this one's for you. And banks, I'm sorry, but you might want to plug your ears or close your eyes, because after you see our demo, you might have a panic attack. Because our product, Join CU, levels the playing field for credit unions by solving credit unions' biggest competitive disadvantage, eligibility. Eligibility is a huge issue for credit unions. It prevents most consumers from even considering credit unions, and those that do try and get a product from credit unions, it often blocks them from being able to successfully get that product from them. You may, even if you're a credit union here, you're probably unaware of just how big a problem this is for you, because your account opening and loan origination systems, which were built for banks, don't share this data with you. So let me give you that data. But basically 40% of people complete the typical account opening and loan origination workflows for banks, but only 16% complete the same types of workflows for credit unions. And as you're probably aware, the only material difference is eligibility. So it should come as no surprise that 84% of the applications that are abandoned on credit unions' websites abandon on the step that asks them how they're eligible to join the credit union. And with that, let's just dive in and see how this can improve the application workflow on a credit union's website. The big difference here is that instead of having the step to show how you're eligible, we've embedded the eligibility logic into the application itself. And because of the abandonment issues that you have only 40% complete banks applications and 16% complete credit unions applications, we ask the consumer to provide their contact information early on and have them allow the credit union to share this information with other credit unions if they're declined the application. So if the person's ineligible or denied the application, we can share it at a later point, and also allow the credit union to reach out to them if they abandon for any reason. And so a lot of what you're going to see up here probably won't feel too revolutionary to you. It's what's happening on the back end that makes a difference. It allows credit unions to double the conversion rates of their online applications, and also creates a new source of non-interest income for them. So by taking things like their home address, we can take that data and on the back end figure out if they're eligible or not, rather than asking them questions, which we've seen credit unions that ask consumers to go to the census website and figure out what census tract they live in, come back to their website, fill it in. And census tract numbers are 11 digits. You can't imagine how many people don't complete that. The other piece here is we've embedded logic with the employer information. So as you put in the employer, that business could be a select employee group, so just working for that company could make you eligible. Or you could see we also pulled in the address, and then there's a whole ton of additional data in the back end, but we're using all of that data to validate whether the consumer is eligible. And then we validate their identity, but by embedding the eligibility validation into the application themselves, the experience is much more what they expect. Quite frankly, most people here who work at a bank haven't noticed any difference from a typical loan application that they might see. And then at this step, this is where things also get very interesting again. So this consumer has completed an application, and one of three things can happen. Either first, they are approved for the loan. So we've figured out that the person's eligible based on their home address and their employer, or their credit checks out, so the credit union would like to extend them the loan, but they're ineligible, like in this case. And at this point, we can't avoid bringing up the concept of eligibility. The consumer has to grapple with that topic. Again, if they abandon at this point, we already have a completed application. We can reach out to them and nurture them and try and get them to come back and finish the application. But if you go through and answer every eligibility question and the consumer's still not eligible, then we can take those people and we can refer them to another credit union, because based on the data they've already put in, then we can figure out what credit unions they're eligible for and we've pulled credit and what credit unions would extend them that loan. So the consumer worked at American Airlines, so we can figure out that they can work at American Airlines. And if we scroll down, we can also see some additional credit unions that have what's called a tip charter. So Sky One can serve anyone who works in the airline industry in the country. So this is just one way that by embedding Join CU on a credit union's website, we can increase conversion rates of those people who come to that website and who are eligible by avoiding the entire eligibility topic for the majority of consumers that come to it. But then also monetizing traffic that every credit union experiences of people who are not eligible or who would be denied credit by that credit union. The other use case for this is we can embed this logic into lead generators or indirect lending networks to allow those networks to support credit unions as well. So if you go onto sites where really the majority of consumers, so 52% of consumers find their products by, let's call it Googling it, but end up on sites where they are shopping for the best financial products. And when they do that right now, that process excludes credit unions that oftentimes offer the best rates to the consumer because they don't have a way of pre-qualifying the consumer from a eligibility perspective, from a field of membership eligibility perspective. And we provide Join CU as an API so that then any one of those sites that is trying to help financial institutions fill the funnel, attract them new members, new consumers, new loans, can also work with credit unions and help consumers find the best rates and the best products that are available from credit unions. But I want to leave you with just one additional thought. I'm an idealist. I love credit unions, and I think one of the ways that this may change the credit union industry the most is now credit unions who use Join CU can tell consumers the truth. So they can say, anyone can join a credit union. Instead of spending time and money in their marketing saying, picking out who should or shouldn't come to their site, they can say anyone can join a credit union, and if they can't help them, we can help them find a credit union that can help them and get them paid for it. Thank you very much.